Any minute, you guys. Okay, that was a little while. Maybe people came in and split. That's okay too. Hi, everybody. Oh, dear. Hi. I didn't think it would take me that long. I did my outlining in the book. Good Lord. So, how is everybody? Mary Jane Doe and Freeside, thank you for being here. I wasn't going to go live, but sometimes it's better than just watching the news or something. What is that? What's that blue thing? Mary Jane Doe. I don't know what that is, that little emoji. What's that emoji?
Mom, I lost a tent on the floor. I can't find it.
Okay, I'll be right there. All right, because we have so many cats and kittens, I've got to help my son find a tat.
One cat my brother was.
Oh, it's a tank top. Yeah, I got my California on to.
I'm not going to bother looking for it because I just tried looking for it and I can't find it.
Well, what area did it drop?
It dropped by my closet. I opened my closet and the damn thing fell off. Because, you know,
Oh, the thing I put up on the door?
Yes.
And
Just looked behind my chair, everywhere. I can't find the damn thing.
in front of you. Okay, you checked in front of the closet door, obviously, and behind. Then it probably fell inside the closet. So we're probably okay. All right, thanks for letting me know. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm hot. Oh, is this gonna reach? Oh, good. Oh, thank goodness for fans.
Mom, the cats are gonna look for it.
Oh my gosh, Parker, you said you couldn't find it. They're not even in your room, right? I mean, I could not tell that was a tank top. Hello to the 7 in the daffodil fields. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening right now in LA, but is my camera dirty? Let's see what's going on here. Okay, maybe that's better. Wow, it is. It's actually better. Kitties.
Found it.
You did?
Yeah, it was in the cloth still.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I couldn't find it around.
Okay. All right. Good for you. All right. So, well, first and foremost, I went on a lovely bike ride with my daughter to, I think it's called Cornwall Tot Park for little children. I think that's the name of it. And it was perfect weather. It was 72 or something. It was supposed to be 80 today. And so it was really nice. So I filmed the park a little bit, and my melting ice cream. And then when I tried to turn this little tablet around to film myself for a moment, I'm on there very briefly because I must have hit something and it went off. So, oh well. But then Mount Baker was over the ridges when we were heading home, and I was like, oh my gosh. So we stopped our bike. My daughter's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I got to film this for my friends. Some people have never been to the state. It is quite captivating, but you'll have to look really close at the dark ridge, the mountains, and then you'll see this white thing like this, and that's Mount Baker. And looking at it, it certainly looks farther away than, what did I say before, 35 miles? I've never been there. My daughter has. She's skied, or not, has she skied or sledded? I think she sled down parts of that mountain with her foster family way back 14 years ago. I've never even been there. Boy, I say a lot, but I guess that gives me a chance to think for a quick moment. What's that? Oh, look at all the mountains. You like emojis like I do. You're so funny. And I don't want to mess up my lipstick when I take a sip of this. My tremors. Oh, by the way, I'm warning you. It's quite shaky. And then I try to I can completely see why people have GoPros and stuff. Although, if you have tremors, you'd probably be shaking the darn GoPro stick thing. Anyway, it was a nice day. It was sunny out, and I got a little more sun. Let's see, where is it? See? Anyway, I'm not into tanning anymore. I just like to have a little color so I don't look like all I do is, sit around. And I got a couple of tubs of this. It's called Lakha. I don't know. Now I can't remember. Some kind of ice cream, and it's really quite good. So I got a really good espresso with almonds and chocolate. I even got a peppermint because I like peppermint. I don't really like it, but then when I start eating it, I really like it. And it's cooling, in the summertime. So anyway, came home and then, was making dinner and stuff. Yummy espresso. Yeah, I mean, the regular coffee ice cream doesn't have that strong coffee taste. Espresso is really good. I actually made coffee this morning when I got up, and I instantly put a bunch of ice in it and that Italian creamer or whatever it's called. I don't like vanilla stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Okay, so so I turned the news on, and LA was Compton area. Well, what happened was these protesters were, I guess, throwing cement blocks, big ones, because I saw the cops taking them out of the middle of the road. And these protesters also put grocery carts on the side so cars couldn't get through, and and they're in all their gear, like all these sheriffs. It said sheriff on the back of their thing. Well, they're upset with all the ICE, not interrogations, but the whatever ICE is doing, taking people. There's a word for it. Now I can't remember. Detentions and arrests and everything. And, because isn't there supposed to be some kind of due process, you guys? I'm not trying to go on a big banter like I did last night, but isn't there? I mean, can you just walk up to people and arrest them? Like, boom, they don't have a visa, or boom, they have, anything. Yeah, I mean, raids, there's the word. Thank you so much. Milkshake me. Hi, Adam and Eve Proton. Wow, it's been a while. Not supposed to be able to. Yeah, I mean, it just seems barbaric in a way. But then the next thing I know, even Fox Live Now, not Fox News. Okay, that's all Republican side. And honestly, I can't stand that station. But this is Fox Live Now, where all the stations come into this Fox station, and everything's live. And the next thing you know, people are circling this car. I was glad no one was in it. Apparently they weren't. And they caught it on fire. So then you have a car on fire, and people filming, and all this. And I'm not kidding. It took like 10 minutes for the fire truck to get there, but it's all in the news. You guys can watch it and see it for yourself if you want to. But what I don't like are a couple of things, okay? I don't like the fact that Trump calls people names. I don't like his belittling attitude. It's very unbecoming for a president, if you ask me. He's now calling Governor Newsom scum. Scum. Like, who does he think he is? And he's done this kind of thing in the past. Oh, that's nice, Ricardo Perella. Good to see you. Hello, my baby. Looking nice. Haircut. Well, it's finally growing out, my haircut. Thank you. Just pulled back, in a bandana. Sweetie blue eyes. My color are green. Okay, well, just to let you know, my eyes are hazel. They're brown and green together, but that's okay. Yours are green, but they're very nice. But love you. You're a warrior. You're a strong lady. Keep it up. The chat loves you. That's very nice. Wow. Thank you so much. And he put all these really cool emojis. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm glad to see you back, Ricardo, because, I wasn't sure the other day. You kind of thought I was like bashing men and stuff, but I was just covering a new trend that's kind of going on because, well, it started getting worse around the sea disease and people just, families were falling apart. But anyway, so then the next thing earlier in the day, they showed some stuff. I didn't see it. I wasn't here. I guess they put a tape up or something, and people were pushing against this tape. And I don't know, who knows what's going on right now, you guys. I think it's going to get kind of ugly tonight. But, I mean, maybe not. But the crowd went from about, I think they said 200. It was a small crowd, down to maybe 20 or so later on. But even with just those amount of people, these sheriffs, or that's what it said on their jackets, in LA were shooting, rubber bullets and throwing mace and dispersing cans of whatever that stuff's called. So I have a really good memory. Or are you talking about Ricardo? I have a really good memory. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad from the past, but things like words I can't remember. Must be talking to someone else, Mary Jane Doe. Oh, pepper spray. Yeah. And and then all of a sudden an ambulance shows up, but Live Now Fox doesn't know, did someone get hurt or not? And yes, you. Well, thank you for that. Gee. All right, so it's getting a little nutty down there. And the other thing that made me mad that Trump did, besides calling Newsom new scum, is say that if he can't do his job or something, and the mayor, Miss Bass, he's going to bring in soldiers. Even though Newsom said he's going to bring the National Guard in, they're on standby if need be. He literally, and things aren't even that bad. That's the thing. And I just think that's wrong to just have this overreach instantly of, well, I'll bring in 2,000 soldiers if your cops and your National Guard can't take care of things. I mean, it's just, good grief. Yeah. I mean, it's quite sad. My daughter was saddened by it, and she said she was sad about it 3 different times. And I mean, yeah, the people that are bad news, to put it lightly, that are over here illegally, okay, take care of that. But just some of these people, just because they're from Venezuela and you're a man, you're hauled off to El Salvador prison. And I heard on the news it's a rough place. I mean, I don't know what that means. Does that mean torture? I don't know what that means, but anyway, yeah. So anyway, that happened. So what I'm going to do is turn this off and show you guys my little video and warn you again that it's quite shaky in the beginning. It's the first little video I've taken on this thing besides the one 3 days ago walking down the steps and seeing if I could even film without Wi-Fi, which I didn't know. And yeah, these flip-flops with this little silver color, by the time I got home, even though I was on my bike, they were like cutting into my foot, and I'm never wearing them again. So I'll turn the volume all the way up and just bear with me. I talk you through it. Whoops. Here we are. Darn tremors. We rode our bikes and we have our bag of ice cream. And darn tremors. Oh my gosh, I gotta relax. This is Cornwall Street. We're in Washington State, folks. That's the little mom and pop store on the corner right there. It says Pepsi on the sign. I don't know how to zero in. Yeah, I don't. But yeah. So here we are. I'm not. My daughter didn't want to be filmed. We're at a little cute kids park. And yeah, it's a beautiful day. Turn your heads to the side so I can. There you go. There you go. You are seeing mountains. Yes. Yeah, it's so cute. Mary Jane Doe. Anyway. Hi, Tashi. Cool. We got bikers here too. Anyway. Yeah, not a cloud. I think it's called. Now I can't remember. Maybe Cornwall Tot Park or something. I used to bring the kids there when they were little. I'm going to eat my ice cream before it melts. See? And I got that blue bike. We have a black one. But yeah, this is where we're at. So I tried to film myself. I did briefly, but then the machine turned off. So, and then this one, filming the chicken. Chicken's clucking. I mean the sound. Hear it? House. What? Chickens in the city? The hell? Okay, way down there on the top of that ridge is Mount. Wait, is that Mount Baker? You think that's Mount Baker? Okay, you see the littlest white ridge. I thought I could zoom in. I can't. Or I don't know how. Let's see if I took a picture. And I'll zoom in. Pull some things over while I'm filming. Oh, for crying out loud. happening. All right. That was just a side road on our way home. It continues to work when I turn it around. We're about a mile. All right, I'm making my daughter wait while I film myself with my helmet on and the mountain down there. And this is the other end. The chicken, I guess, is done clucking or singing. Okay. She really wanted to get going. Now I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see Mount Baker a little bit. If you look way at the top, up here is white. Oh my goodness gracious. See it? There. Right there. That's Mount Baker. And then those are, now the reason I was asking my daughter is I was just saying, is that Mount Baker? Because all of a sudden I thought maybe it was Mount Rainier. But Rainier is farther. Okay, this was the end of the, there you go. See, you can see it more now. There's snow up there. And at the end of May, like May 31st or something, they have what's called here ski to sea. And that was the end of the road with Mount Baker on top that we were at that time. It's called ski to sea. And people start the race. It's a race. And you start there, Mount Baker, and you ski down, whatever, and then you end up at the sea in kayaks and stuff. And there's, yeah, it's really fun. Looks so scenic. Thank you. Thank you, Tashi. Yeah, thanks. For that light blue bike, I bought it from a neighbor. Oh my gosh. 10 years ago, maybe 12 for $50. It was just sitting on her deck, getting dirty. And I bought new blue, whatever those things are you put on the handlebars. I took off the dirty old basket and raised the seat right up. I love it. Yeah. Thanks. I mean, you know, it's nice to be able to show a little outside than just this all the time. You know what I mean? Wow, it's so cool how the whole climate and everything changes when you go up the mountains. Yeah. And it's so weird, right? It can be 80 or 90. And 2 years ago, it was 105 here and in Seattle. And that's really rare. It wasn't that way last year, but anyway, and then you look up and there's all this snow on the mountain. ADHD is new here. You're so funny. 7712. Thanks for being here. Yeah. If you missed the little picture show, if that's what you want to call it, that's why I wrote plus small trip biking in Washington State. It's not, you know, I'm sure that there might be some kind of device I could attach to my bike while I'm riding around, but I don't know what on earth. But yeah. Okay. So that's it for today. And tomorrow I'm going to Boulevard Park with my daughter. And wait till you guys see that place. I am going to film. I'm going to film Taylor Dock, walking down the whole darn thing. And the water and the sand brought in the park. It's very scenic, rather touristy. And, you know, Canada is 20 minutes from us, so we get a lot of Canadians here. Yeah, I wanted to show, I do get out. Don't want to just talk about it. Hi, Honor. Honor. Yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow. So okay. So that was like a good 6 songs, and I know that's a little much. It was even a little much for me when I was listening to it, but I didn't know the chapter was so long on delusion to wisdom. I had an entire water earlier. Vancouver is supposed to be a big party town. Yeah, I've never been there, but my friend from Ireland, Siobhan, she goes there a lot, she said. Okay, so I'm going to be reading from this book again by Jack Kornfield called The Wise Heart. And I'll read my copyright disclaimer. Again, I don't know if it has to be in chat or not. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's really nice of you to pop in or hang out or whatever you're doing. I don't need to say that, Tina. Which thing did I say? I don't have to read what you wrote, that you're new here? You don't need to say that. Oh, the disclaimer? Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably what it is. All right, I'm going to do my usual. Turn off the camera. It's kind of intense, you guys. I got to tell you, him explaining delusion. Like, I always thought delusion was just sort of, for lack of a better word, warped thinking, non-reality, whatever. But it seems to be a lot more entailed than that. From delusion to wisdom. Okay, delusion has the characteristic of blindness, of not penetrating reality, of covering the true nature of experience, of fostering unwise attention, of causing deluded action. Wow. Okay, when we are lost in delusion, it's hard to see even the most obvious truths. It's like we're riding a horse and asking, where's the horse? In a study done at Harvard University, Daniel Simmons showed a 3-minute basketball video and asked the observers to count how many times a basketball was passed between the black team and the white team. After a minute, a person in a gorilla suit walks slowly to the very middle of the court, faces the camera, beats his chest, and then walks away. At the end of the 3 minutes, 50% of those watching the video missed the gorilla altogether. They were so busy counting, the basketball was all they saw. Even when asked if anything unusual had happened, they firmly said no. When the video was played back to them, their mouths dropped open in amazement. The gorilla is so obvious, yet they never saw a thing. But we also need to realize how one-sided our view of things can be, how much of reality we may be missing. Often we see only what we want to believe. We can be famously deluded about love, and equally so about our bodies, our plans, our finances, our past, and our future. Whole nations can be deluded about their domestic or foreign policy. Without seeing clearly, we take the surface illusion of things to be reality. Delusion underlies all the other unhealthy states. Grasping and clinging arise from the delusion of scarcity, an inability to sense our wholeness and life's abundance. Aversion and hatred arise from a misguided search for security, from the mistaken belief that hatred can make us suffer. And at the root of delusion itself is the illusion of a separate, limited sense of self. Freedom from delusion is so important. When we awaken from delusion, our life is transformed. Delusion has a seductive power, and it can appear anywhere. Delusion is different from lack of information. It is different from not knowing how a gasoline engine works or the facts of Middle Eastern history. Delusion can lead us to ignore the facts and cling to our views and opinions. It creates a loss of connection with reality. At its extreme, delusion becomes outright psychosis. Our ordinary delusion can take us from the reality of the present into the unreality of our thoughts and confuse misperceptions. With delusion, we can get lost in a dreamy and unconscious life. Even reading this chapter about delusion may put you to sleep. Notice how it works. Through awareness, we can release the spell of delusion and the suffering it creates. Delusion misunderstands the world and forgets who we are. Delusion gives rise to all unhealthy states. Free yourself from delusion and see with wisdom. Inattention, the first level of delusion. There are 3 levels of delusion in our lives. The first is a lack of attention. Without attention, it is as if the wicked witch of the West has sown our hometown with poppies, and we don't notice where we are. We could call this level forgetful delusion. Forgetful delusion arises when we don't notice what is happening, when we are lost in thought, half asleep. It is like the experience of driving to a destination, parking, and realizing that we have no memory of the whole drive. Or as a friend said once in a restaurant after demolishing a plate of food, I have no idea who just ate that. With delusion, we live our lives on automatic pilot. We walk down the street and return home without registering where we are and what is happening. On a stormy day, we miss the scudding clouds, the splash of rain at our feet, and the glow of windows at twilight. We miss the sparkle in the air on a sunny spring morning. We even miss the faces of our loved ones when we arrive home. Whole periods of our lives disappear in the trance of delusion. We live in a culture of chronic inattention fed by the frenzied pace of modern life. Our schools and workplaces push us to multitask, and our fragmented attention becomes cursory, shallow. Surrounded by stimulation, we become bored and restless, prone to addictions of all kinds. This delusion can happen even when we outwardly appear successful, possessing everything that money can buy, while experiencing an utter lack of inner peace. Mindfulness wakes us up from the trance of delusion. Mindfulness shifts us out of fantasy into seeing clearly. Without mindfulness, the deluded mind habitually grasps pleasant experiences and rejects unpleasant ones. Harder to see, delusion ignores neutral experience. When things are neutral, we get bored and spaced out because we are so culturally conditioned to seek high levels of stimulation. So we miss the aliveness behind the neutral experiences that make up much of our day. And yet, when our attention grows, what seems neutral or dull becomes full with an unseen richness. Instead of trying to dispel delusion, first we can simply notice the times it arises when we go on automatic. We can take an interest in lack of awareness. To do this, we can look for the areas of our life that are most unconscious. We will notice how delusion comes hand in hand with distractedness, speed, and addiction. It is a challenge to our habits to pay attention to delusion. As we do so, we begin to wake up. With mindfulness, we can awaken from delusion. Even the United States Army is using mindfulness training based on the stress reduction programs. which have had great success in hospitals and businesses. One young Army officer had a hot temper and a history of anger and stress-related problems, was ordered by his colonel to attend an 8-week mindfulness training class to help reduce his level of stress. One day, after attending the class for some weeks, he stopped for groceries on his way home. He was in a hurry and a bit irritated as usual. When he took his cart to check out, there were long lines. He noticed the woman in front of him had only one item, but wasn't in the express line. She was carrying a baby and talking to the cashier. He became irritated. She was in the wrong line, talking, holding everyone up. Then she passed the baby to the cashier, and the cashier spent a moment cooing over the child. He could feel his habitual anger rising, but because he'd been practicing mindfulness, he started to become aware of the heat and tightness in his body. He could feel the pain. He breathed and relaxed. When he looked up again, he saw the little boy smiling. As he reached the cashier, he said, "That was a cute little boy." "Oh, did you like him?" She responded. "That's my baby. His father was in the Air Force, but he was killed last winter. Now I have to work full time. My mom tries to bring my boy in once or twice a day so I can see him." When we live in delusion, we're quick to judge others. We miss their inner beauty. We also miss their pain and cannot respond to them with compassion. With inattention, we miss the meal in front of us, the parade of passers-by, the ever-changing scenery, the open-hearted connection with the world. Yeah. The delusion of denial. Deeper than inattention, we find a second form of delusion, denial. Denial arises when we don't believe what is actually in front of our eyes. On a personal level, we can deny problems at work, difficulties in our marriage, depression, or addiction, as if denial will make them go away. With denial, we can start a love affair and actually believe that the romantic intoxication will last forever. We can think that the stock market will only go up and never go down. Many of us learned denial early. We were taught to ignore family secrets. Denial can also function collectively. Whole societies can be manipulated into violent upheaval by ignorance, racism, and fear-mongering, which I feel like that's what we're going through in LA right now, in other states. Okay. The consumer advertising and television propaganda around us can deliberately foster anxiety and reinforce our political and economic delusions. Collective delusions can operate for years before we awaken to the cost, asking ourselves why thousands of people lost their lives or billions of dollars were spent in the name of non-existent weapons of mass destruction. Sometimes we can cling to delusions even in the face of obvious danger. Like mindfulness, we have focused on helping us see through the middle level of delusion. In analysis and many other forms of therapy, we repeatedly confront our denial. We are probed and questioned and interpreted and forced to face and feel what we have ignored. Look for moments of clarity. Keep to your experience, not your confusing thoughts. Learn the difference. Misperception of reality. The deepest level of delusion is called misperception of reality. This level is the hardest to face because it threatens some of our most cherished assumptions. In a fundamental way, we are deluded about happiness, permanence, and the nature of who we think we are. First, let's take our ideas about happiness. We all understand how outer comforts can bring pleasure, ease, security. Were these experiences not pleasant? We would not become entangled, and while we may well enjoy these forms of happiness, they are incomplete. A wise part of us knows that they alone do not bring fulfillment. Some of the richest and most privileged humans experience intractable suffering and heartbreak, while villagers who live in extremely poor conditions can be astonishingly happy. Happiness is within us. Studies of winners of state lotteries show that after receiving the money, the winners' happiness increases for about 2 years, and then it usually returns to its original level. If we were already quite happy, we return to that state. If we were depressed, fearful, or miserable, even after winning millions in the lottery, we will likely return to that state as well. Even more surprising is the research on those who become paralyzed, one of the worst fates many can imagine. After a few years, paraplegics and quadriplegics also return to their normal state of happiness. Changing our outer circumstances is not the true path to happiness. Genuine happiness arises from healthy states of mind. It is born of a wise and gracious heart. One woman, after a doctor called to say there was a lump in her breast and told her it was cancer, had spread to the lymph nodes. She would need surgery and chemotherapy. She worked as an administrator. Her 2 children were grown, and her husband was supportive and offered to do whatever she needed. During and after the treatment, she questioned whether the illness and fear of death would ruin her life. Then she realized that she could be happy anyway. She was a warm-hearted, loving person who enjoyed people. She was a friend to many. In fact, she already had what made her happy. It wasn't the comforts of her life that made her happy, nor could the cancer and difficult treatment destroy it. It was her good heart that made the difference. In the misperception of reality, the second basic delusion is that of permanence. Delusion believes that we can hold on to experience, yet nothing about life is solid or permanent. Where is our childhood? Where are the 1990s? Where is last year, last month, yesterday? Gone. Experience comes trooping out of emptiness, day and night, writes the poet Rumi. With the delusion of permanence, we grasp feelings, experiences, and people as if they were ours to keep. We struggle to hold on to the world, and yet our days vanish like a mirage or a dream. We can live wisely only when we accept the reality of change. We deliberately contemplated change, our moods, the seasons, the passing of visitors, our aging, and the movement of our breath until we could see life as an unstoppable river. In our delusion, we forget and we pretend our bodies will stay young, our children will not grow up, our fortunes are secure, our marriages will not change. Yet praise and blame, gain and loss, pleasure and pain, fame and disrepute weave an ever-changing fabric of our lives. To call a thing good, not a day longer than it appears to us good, and above all, not a day earlier. That is the only way to keep joy pure. Our delusions about happiness and permanence are rooted in the deepest delusion of all, forgetting who we are. When we forget our true nature, we feel ourselves as separate, lost in a small perspective, moving like a horse with blinders. In the same way that we grasp our body, we grasp our fleeting feelings and thoughts and take them to be our fundamental identity. The body, though changing, may last for a year or for decades, but that which is called mind, its thoughts and states of consciousness, arises continuously day and night and as quickly passes away. Therefore, whatever bodily experiences, feelings, perception, thoughts, or consciousness, past, present, or future, gross or subtle, should be seen clearly according to wisdom. This does not belong to me. This I am not. This is not myself. With delusion, we lose perspective, we cling, we forget our luminous true nature. Remembering who you are. Our delusion can be dispelled in a moment It is never too late for the illumination of wisdom. It does not matter how long the darkness has lasted. When the delusion of separation is dispelled, we see beneath our roles and dramas to the level of spirit. We recognize the universal dance of life where the roles and dramas, even the very players themselves, are tentative and dreamlike, being nothing and everything. The spacious and clear heart. In spaciousness and clarity, we can understand that every one of us participates in the loss and suffering of life, as well as its marvels and beauty. This awakens our compassion instead of judgment or denial. Compassion and spaciousness arise together. When delusion goes, we are no longer so frightened or worried about ourself. As the illusion of separate self dissolves, the play of life becomes less personal, part of the timeless dance called the rise and fall of the four seasons. Traditional societies throughout the world understand how important it is to dissolve the illusion of separateness. Whenever our delusion is dispelled, there comes a tremendous sense of freedom. In this timeless openness, our hearts open as well. Okay. In Louisville, at the corner of 4th and Walnut, in the center of a shopping district, I was suddenly overwhelmed with the realization that I loved all those people, that they were mine and I theirs, that we could not be alien to one another even though we were total strangers. It was like waking from a dream of separateness, of spurious self-isolation in a special world, the world of renunciation and supposed holiness. This sense of liberation from an illusory difference was such a relief and such a joy to me that I almost laughed out loud. When we discover spacious clarity, we become citizens of love. Okay. I kind of liked that. Well, hi, Max Smith. Acceptance of things we can't change. Yeah, probably a lot of delusion comes along with severe mental health problems. Yep, I just read my book, showed a little video of my bike ride earlier. Not so much the riding, but stopping. Hello. So yeah, so that was from Delusion to Wisdom. And, you know, I don't know, like it's hard to explain. That was a lot. I can't hardly remember what I read because it was so much. And that's what I outlined in the chapter, all of that. And that's why I had like 6 songs before I started. Usually I'm ready, you know, and then I'll just play 2 or 3. I just didn't think the chapter would be that long. So yeah, yeah, I won't show it again. You can just watch the video back, Max Smith, if you're wanting to you know, see my little area in Washington State. You've probably been here. You're in California, right? And yeah. So last night with what I was talking about, Team Rose heard part of it or something, or was watching part of it or listening to part of it, and sent me a link to a man named, I think it's Jason Peterson. I think Jason's the first name. Do you guys hear the ice cream truck? Can you hear that? Yeah, used to come around 6 and it's 9:17 here. Anyway, and it was really pretty neat. It was basically saying when you're over 60, think twice about getting involved, getting in serious relationships, because once we're older like this, we're pretty kind of, I mean, we can be flexible, but we're fairly set in our ways and we know what we want. We know what we need, things like that. It doesn't mean, you know, we can't be flexible or bend a little bit, but so many, they said a lot of men, when their wives pass away or something, they want to jump kind of quickly into a relationship or even a marriage more than women. I found it interesting. Yeah, so, oh, Jordan Peterson, and you said I don't like him, said Mary Jane Doe. Well, I liked the little how long was it? I think it was 16 minutes or 13. I think a lot of what he said made some sense, but what I got from it was he by no means said not to have relationships when you're older. It just takes, when you're older, it can be more taxing physically and mentally and everything than you expect necessarily, and that's when some of us run into our own, you know, physicalities and whatever we're going through. And I don't know, I really appreciated it. Oh, his voice irritated you, and the I don't know if he's into religion and the rest. Yeah, his voice, I mean, I watched it on a quicker, or listened and watched on a quicker speed. I don't always like, how all these commercials these days have the words right there, and it's for a reason and all that, but I was trying to look at the pretty scenery, that he was showing on each part or whatever, and it was hard. Uh, but I appreciated it most definitely. So, you guys, it's only 9:20 here, but I'm probably going to get myself to bed literally by 10. So, it's a good 2.5, maybe 3 mile bike ride from here to Boulevard Park. And I think it's going to be much warmer tomorrow. We're going to pack a little sandwich, roast beef sandwich, and bring the Rainier cherries and some drinks and just go have a nice day. Last summer, did we even ride our bikes there? Because like the summer is just, if you don't get into it in June, it's like June, July. Well, there is August, but I can't remember what happened. We definitely did things, but I don't think we went to Boulevard Park. So this is kind of going to be a treat. And there's some railroad tracks down there, and it's just very spacious with some rocks. You'll see, and you'll even be able to see the Canadian mountains from Boulevard Park. It's very, very scenic, like I said. So I'm going to do that and charge up my tablet. And thank you for being here. I don't have a lot more to say or talk about, but prayers for LA and all the other cities that are going through this, just people being grabbed out of their homes and at schools, and I saw a woman get grabbed right off the street. She got out of jail. I think it was 2 or 3 months later, but I don't know. I don't agree with all the different reasons people are just being taken by these people that, I mean, it's very scary because I heard one professor guy talking, explaining in detail, and he was like, well, can I call my wife? Nope, come in with us, and I mean, and he was here legally. and the assumptions that some people are making these people go through. And he said he was just pushed into this cell, and he just seemed like such a kind, meek, nice family man. And just because he's from another country, and now I can't remember where, it was last week, so I don't want to say where. I don't think it was Iran. I don't think it was Afghanistan. He could have been from, I want to say Israel, but he would have been treated better, I think. I don't know. I can't remember, but oh, I think he was Jewish. Like, I'm not even kidding. But he was just not treated right, and it really scared him, and to just instantly be locked up like that, you guys, it just, with hardly no explanations, and no phone call for 4 days, no shower, no, you're not told, oh, well, you'll be in front of someone and we'll figure this out. No, you're just taken off and flipping locked up. I think it's wrong. Anyway, so thank you for being here, and I will go ahead and play my outro song. For those of you that like hearing the words, and I'll probably even do a little dance since I didn't in the beginning. So hit the like, please, and subscribe if you're willing to. And yeah, comments is off right now. So, oh dear, the screen is bigger. And okay. Move the chair. Turn the fan, or maybe we don't need the fan. I just like it. I just really like this song. The words are catchy. The hook, like Mary Jane Doe says. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you. Okay, what's going on? Oh, Lord. Oh, there we go. I just startled every time.
Hey, paper cuts, red crown gleam sharper. Supermom vibes keep the scene in order. Ruby hips move smoother than rich butter. Life's the jungle, she chopping through the utter clutter. Unapologetic, still in her veins. Flaming red hair, igniting the flames. Trap bounce, turn heads, no need for claims. Tina got the world spinning in her lane. Feel good anthem for the heart to break. She bends but don't fold. Risk what's at stake. Deep bass drops, hearts quake, earth shakes. Tina on fire, every move she makes. Hardcore grind, she make the rules bend. Fierce mama bear, no time to pretend. Mic in one hand, babe in the other. Queens don't slumber, she a force undercover. Yeah. Molded chaos, wears it like a crown. Life threw punches, but she never stayed down. Dynamic rhythms, put the drama out of town. Paper cut, Tina royalty profound. Feel good anthem for the unyielding crew. Dance floor breaks under feet like it's new. Rap beats rain, 808s in the blue. Tina's groove conquering, bold and true. in her veins. Flaming red hair, igniting the flames. Trap bounce, turn heads, no need for claims. Tina got the world spinning in her lane. Feel good anthem for the heart to break. She bends but don't fold, risk what's at stake. Deep bass drops, hearts quake, earth shakes. Tina on fire, every move she makes. Hardcore grind, she make the rules bend. Fierce mama bear, no time to pretend. Mic in one hand, babe in the other. Queens don't slumber, she a force undercover.